Okay, good morning, one and all. So yesterday we saw how to calculate moment of inertia by parallel axis theorem. So as the beam is unsymmetrical, that is unsymmetrical I section. So yesterday we saw this diagram, and according to we have distributed this into one, two, and third part. Total depth was 80, 150, and 40. So we have calculated y top and y bottom. So we have initiated here 0, 0 axis at the last corner from this side, and here this is the datum line. If you see the line here, this line, so here this is the outermost fiber of the beam, and this is the leftward fiber of the beam. So here we have taken 0, 0, and we have measured from the bottom all the CGs, and we have calculated the moment of inertia, and the correct answer we have got. I think yesterday Miss Hedau has got same answer, 183.36 10 raised to 6. I have recalculated it, and if the problem is there, we have to calculate it separately so that there are very less chances of the mistake. So that at least we will get some marks for this 80.99, 7.6. Suppose this figure gets wrong, then there will be less chances of deduction of the marks. So total I-axis is 183.36 10 raised to 6 mm to the power 4. So this is the correct answer, uh, and we are going to crease this answer now. Now we are yesterday we saw how to calculate our moment of inertia of any kind of shape. If the beam is rectangular, then BD cube by 12. Very nice. If the beam is of L section, you should be able to calculate moment of inertia. If the beam is of channel section, we should be able to calculate. Similarly, we have calculated for unsymmetrical I section. Okay. So this is the most critical section we have seen. Now suppose channel section is there like this, then entire properties is going to change, and we should be able to find out its y top and y bottom. Okay, shape may be like this, or beam channel is from this side, maybe ऐसा रह सकता है कैसा भी, और ये टी बीम भी रह सकता है ऐसा, और नीचे का नहीं रहेगा. If suppose this part is not there, then also you should be able to find out the things. Okay, so to find out the moment of inertia, after this I am switching to, so yesterday's lecture we have freeze how to find out moment of inertia. You have to do lot of practice for calculating moment of inertia, then and only then you will get the shearing stresses as well as bending stresses. Otherwise, if you are not able to find out moment of inertia, then it will be very difficult for finding out the stresses. Okay, so this part I will take afterwards. Now we are switching to how to calculate bending stress and bending formula. How to derive. So we will go to PPTs, yesterday's PPTs, SOM, where is SOM? Yes, bending stress. Okay, then WebEx, sharing, share. Screen is visible, Mr. Anish. Okay, fine. So there are two topics in the unit 3. One is bending stresses and another is shearing stresses. So for both we require moment of inertia. That's why we have spent one complete hour finding out the moment of inertia. Now see, bending is usually combined with the shearing action. However, to simplify, the effect of shear may be neglected. This is true when the maximum bending moment is considered. Shear is zero. I have already explained, wherever the bending moment is zero, the shearing stresses are maximum. If shearing bending moment is zero, shearing stresses are maximum. Okay. प्रशांत बेटा फॅन 3 वर कर बरं सगळे, फॅन 3 वर. So this is true when the maximum bending moment is considered. In calculating the stresses due to bending only, such a theory wherein stresses due to bending alone is considered is known as pure bending or simple bending theory. So what we will see, the simple bending theory or pure bending theory. See, on a beam, there are two point loads are acting, having the magnitude W and W, having same magnitude, let us say 5 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton. Then at the same distance from left hand side at a distance A, from right hand side at a distance A. A is same, let us say 1 meter, 1 meter. So naturally reaction will be total load divided by 2. So W will be left hand side reaction, W will be right hand side reaction. Now this will be the SFD. As I told you, that is there is no any load, there will be horizontal line. So at the load on the left hand side upward, here see the cursor. So if it is upward, then here it is positive, no load in between, therefore 0. Then here it will be negative because this W is forming negative shear force on the beam. So here again, if you are going to see just right of B, then you will get 0 shear force at the end. Similarly, we will drop in BMD here, pure bending. W into the A moment, W into A is inclined line. No load, horizontal line. Here also W into A, it is forming clockwise bending moment, therefore taken as positive and you will get bending moment. So pure bending between C and D. ये देखो यहाँ पे WA and WA is the pure bending, whereas it is inclined line, therefore bending moment get reduced. So in this portion it is called pure bending of WA and WA magnitude. Now bending action. We have seen in SFD BMD, if you are going to apply a force, let us say this is a beam, this is the beam, and if I am applying the load from the bottom side, then that will be deflect like this. So I will do like this. This will be deflected shape, or this will be deflected shape. From this you can see my screen. So that here it will be. Now at the bottom, what will happen? If the particle that rectangular or square particle are trying to go away from each other, and if something goes away from each other, that is called tension. आपने देखा है ना, टेंशन स्ट्रेस. It is if you are going to pull it, there will be elongation, and if you are going to press something, there will be compression. So if you are going to see these two arrow, it is pressing to this particle circle, then that is called compression, and at the bottom there will be tension. So in the middle part, in this dash 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 line, it never contract and never expand. That's why it is called neutral layer. That is the assumptions made by Bernoulli, that plane sections remain plane before and after bending, or in other words it will be normal to the neutral axis. So here in this case it is forming compression at the top, and at the bottom there will be tension. Means the particle is going away from each other, that is called tension. If the particle is pressing to the particle is pressing by some force, that is called compression. So at the definition of neutral axis, where the bending stresses are zero, it will never compress, it will never contract, so that layer is called neutral layer or neutral axis. So that is called sagging bending moment. And the layer where the stresses are never compression stresses nahi hai, bending tensile stresses nahi hai, then that is called neutral axis. And here you have to show the tensile stresses like this on the left hand side and compression stresses at the rightward side. Okay, so that is called sigma C is the stress due to bending in compression. Sigma T is the stress in tension, that will be at the bottom. If the beam is creating hogging bending moment, see this scale, it is creating hogging bending moment, then it will be develop tensile stresses at the top and compression stresses at the bottom. If you see any practical example, then see the sajja of on the window, and one monkey is sitting there. That's why due to that point load, what will happen? The that will be creating, suppose this is a sajja which is fixed at this side, this is free at this side, and one monkey is here. So due to self weight or live load of the monkey, this beam is trying to bend like this. Therefore there will be hogging bending moment, and the particle, rectangular particle, if you see in the diagram, it is going, trying to go away from each other, and circle is pressing to each other. That's why that is called tension, and at the bottom there will be compression. So this is the basic difference. If the beam is simply supported carrying UDL, then that is called compression stresses developed at the bottom, and tensile stresses, sorry, tensile stresses will be developed at the bottom and compression stresses will be developed at the top. If the beam is cantilever, then it will be vice versa. That means tensile stresses will be developed at top and compression stresses will be developed at the bottom layer. Now see, this is neutral axis, and here you have to see tension at the top and compression at the bottom. Now bending action. Sagging. Fibers below the neutral, as I have explained, fibers below the neutral axis get stretched. Fibers are under tension. Fibers above the neutral axis get compressed. Fibers are in compression. And hogging is less to vice versa. If the beam is simply supported, then sagging, and if the bending moment is, beam is cantilever, then it will be vice versa. The trace of this layer on the cross section is called neutral axis, and in between there is a fiber or layer which neither undergoes tension or compression. म्हणजे तिथं टेन्साइल स्ट्रेसेस नाही आहे, कॉम्प्रेशन स्ट्रेसेस नाही आहे. That layer is called neutral layer, or stresses are zero. So what are the assumptions made in the pure bending? This is very important topic. The beam is initially straight and every layer is free to expand or contract. See, though beams are simply supported or cantilever, initially we have to assume the beam is straight. It may be little bit inclined, whatever it may be, but we have to assume the beam is completely straight like this. And every layer is free to expand or contract. ये कैसा भी जा सकता है, अपने को पता नहीं है. It is free to expand or contract. The material is homogeneous and isotropic. What is the meaning of this assumption? The material is homogeneous and isotropic. Homogeneous means it is made up of same material, and isotropic means the properties at each layer, anywhere, if you are going to take properties. Properties means material properties. What are the material properties? One is modulus of elasticity. Then means all the properties are identical at any section. Then it is called isotropic. Then Young's modulus E is same in both tension and compression. See, if the beam is composite, now you are knowing, if the beam is composite, then it is made up of two material. But here we have to assume Young's modulus E is same in both tension and compression. Let us assume the beam is made up of steel. So what is the value of modulus of elasticity? Modulus of elasticity for steel is 210 into 10 raised to 3 MPa, or 2 into 10 raised to power 5 Newton per mm square. So here Young's modulus is same in both tension and compression. Actually, it is not true in case of our RCC beam, because because here RCC is reinforced cement concrete, and reinforced cement concrete means you are going to provide reinforcement at the bottom and compression will be in the compression zone. Therefore, this Young's modulus for RCC will be different, but in the assumption you have to say, you have to take care that Young's modulus is same for both tension and compression. Stresses are within elastic limit. What is the meaning of this? That Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain within elastic limit, then and only then you will get the tensile stresses and compression stresses. The radius of curvature of the beam is very large in comparison to the depth of the beam. Means here, if you are going to see this is as beam, so if you are going to deflect like this, so if you are going to see its radius, डेप्थ कितना है बीम का, बहुत छोटा है, ये ऐसा ये हो गया. सो उसका रेडियस ऑफ कायरेशन, रेडियस ऑफ कर्वेचर ऑफ द बीम इज वेरी लार्ज. मीन्स इसका जो ऐसा कवर हो जाएगा, तो इसकी जो रेडियस रहेगी ऐसा और ऐसा, that will be very large as compared to the depth of the beam, because the depth of the beam is 500, let us say 400, 300, बट इसका जो डिफ्लेक्शन होगा वो बहुत स्मॉल होगा, तो उसका जो रेडियस रहेगा वो कम से कम आपको 4 या 5 या 6 मीटर मिल जाएगा. सो दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस assumption. Then, these assumptions may be asked into examination, or you should be able to speak in case of your Viva examination. A transfer section of the beam which is plane before bending will remain plane after bending. That means the section must be perpendicular to the normal. ये जो बेंडिंग स्ट्रेसेस आने वाला है और वो रेडियस ऑफ कर्व अपना न्यूट्रल एक्सिस रहेगा, वो परपेंडिकुलर रहेगा 100%. दिस इज अजम्पशन, दिस इज नॉट ट्रू, दिस इज द अजम्पशन. Stresses are purely longitudinal. The stresses developed are purely longitudinal. Then derivation. This derivation likely to be asked because I have seen many papers of autonomy as well as university, and of course for this also competitive exam also, these assumptions is very important. So kindly pay attention to this part 1. Relationship between bending stress and radius of curvature. What is that relation that we are going to see now? See, as I told, these are, I will start innovating little bit so that it will be better to understand. As I told you, this radius of curvature, I will take red pen. This is radius of curvature. And what is the thickness of the beam? A to C. And C, ये यहाँ पे क्या होगा? F dash, H dash, D dash, and this will be the radius. ये बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है, ठीक है. सो इफ यू आर गोइंग टू टेक अ स्मॉल सेक्शन डी एक्स, पूरी बीम तो यहाँ से यहाँ तक है भाई, लेकिन मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, खाली आई एम गोइंग टू कंसिडर दिस पार्ट. ओके, सो इन्होंने आई विल रिमूव. सो डी एक्स ए बी, देन ई एफ जी, देन सी डी. ए बी सी डी is the beam cross section. Let us say this is the beam we are taking, A B C D. Okay, and we are taking a layer Y at the center exactly E F, and we are taking Y distance. Let us say G H. We are taking from neutral axis E F and the distance G from Y. So this 0 is the radius, and this will be the elongation E dash, G dash, C dash and D dash. You are looking this E dash, F dash, G dash, H dash, C dash, D dash. So there will be elongation in the bottom part. In the bottom part, it is deflected like this. So there will be increase in the length at the bottom part, and there will be decrease above the neutral axis. आप यहाँ पे दे सकते हैं. Again I can start some unity. So here this part is get compressed, and if you see there will be change in the length is increasing in the bottom portion, and if the length is increasing, you are remembering there will be tensile stresses, and if the length is contracted, then there will be compressive stresses. Okay, so I have to stop this thing. Okay, then we will move further. So we have considered the section DS. This is theoretical part, and I have explained this. So I am not wasting my time. Let the radius of the fiber E dash F dash be R. We will go to that slide. This radius O to E dash is the radius of gyration, radius of curvature. EF is equal to E dash F dash is equal to how much dx, and it is nothing but R d theta. Now see. Here this is d theta. So this, if you are going to see E dash F dash, that will be R into d theta, because we have considered very small element, not the entire beam. Therefore we have to consider R into d theta. So E F is equal to E dash F dash is equal to dx is equal to R d theta. If you are going to read any book, in each and every book of strength of material, you will get this derivation. You have to see and you have to read all the things. So the initial length of fiber GS equals to R d theta. After bending, a new length of GH equals d dash h dash is equal to r plus y d theta. Whatever the increase in the length, r plus y into d theta. So I am expanding it r d theta plus y d theta. Then change in the length of the fiber कितना होगा चेंज इन द लेंथ ऑफ द फाइबर आर डी थीटा प्लस वाई डी थीटा, जितना कुछ बढ़ गया है लेंथ वाई डी थीटा बढ़ गया था माइनस आर डी थीटा, तो कितना चेंज हो गया लेंथ में, खाली वाई डी थीटा. सो here therefore the strain in fiber GH epsilon, that is not E, it is epsilon. What is strain? Strain is nothing but change in length upon original length. So change in length is y d theta upon original length. So our original length was r d theta and epsilon is equal to y d theta. कितना चेंज हो गया, खाली y d theta यहाँ का, और प्रीवियस लेंथ कितना था r d theta. So d theta gets cancelled, so we will get epsilon is equal to y by r, right? So if sigma b is bending stress and E is the young modulus of the material, then strain is equal to क्या हो जाएगा, अपने को ये भी पता है strain is equal to stress upon modulus of elasticity, or stress is directly proportional to strain within elastic limit and the constant is known as Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity. So modulus of elasticity is equal to sigma by E. Sigma is the stress upon modulus of elasticity is E, or you can write E is equal to sigma by epsilon, stress directly proportional to strain. Okay, now if you are going to say strain is equal to sigma by E, strain is equal to y by r, एक बार strain बोलते y by r है, एक बार बोलते sigma by E है. Therefore if you are going to equate this epsilon epsilon, then we will get the very nice expression that sigma by E is equal to y by r. So we are coming to the conclusion that stress upon modulus of elasticity is equal to y divided by radius of curvature. If I am interested to find out now sigma b, अपने को क्या निकालना है, अपने को सिग्मा बी निकालने का है, सिग्मा बी बेंडिंग निकालने का है at top and bottom. So if I am having the value of E, if I am having the value of R, and if I am having the value of YB and Y top, so simply I will get sigma bottom and sigma top. Here this sigma B is nothing but the bending stress, and if you are going to take Y bottom, you will get stress at bottom. If you are going to take Y top, you will get stress at top. The bending stress is proportional to the distance y, and hence maximum bending stress occur at the farthest fiber. Farthest fiber means at the last top of the beam. Suppose this is the beam and this is the cross section of the beam. So this is the topmost fiber and this is the bottommost fiber of the beam, and this variation will be inclined like this. Part 2. Now we have got the expression sigma by E is equal to y by r. Then part 2 is the moment of resistance. सर माझा लेक्चर आहे सर, मी करतो तुम्हाला एक झालं. So part 2 is the moment of resistance. Considered an elemental area dA. dA means not dahake, dA at a distance y from the neutral axis. I am considering only any element dA at a distance of y from neutral axis. So dA is the element at a distance y. The force on this elemental area, what is force is equal to, or stress is equal to, stress is equal to, we are knowing F is equal to load upon area. Agree? So here if I am interested to find out force, force is equal to nothing but stress into area. अपन लिखतो ना F is equal to P by A, and if I am interested to find out P, P is equal to what, F into A. So that dA is the area into stress. And what is sigma B? From previous expression we have plotted, I will go through that. Here I have written sigma B is equal to E by R into A. जो एक्सप्रेशन ये बोल रहे हैं अपन, मैं तो सिग्मा बी यहाँ पे ये बोल रहा हूँ E by R into Y. So here from 1 I can write sigma B तो E by R into Y है, then DA into एरिया मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. So the moment of resistance offered is equal to moment of this force about neutral axis. See, many times students are getting confused कि moment of resistance and bending moment में क्या फर्क है? Bending moment is developed due to actual loading and actual span of the beam. Suppose the beam is simply supported carrying UDL or entire span and the span is L, then bending moment is WL square by 8, and moment of resistance which is offered by the section, whatever the breadth, whatever is the depth. So moment of resistance is offered by the section. Section means cross, not cross section, it is the section of the beam, breadth, depth, and moment, bending moment is actual due to loading and span. Now therefore dm, I am writing moment of resistance is equal to dm into what is the force. Force is nothing but E by R into Y into dA. मला मला फोर्स माहिती आहे इथं E by R into Y into dA. What I have to multiply? Moment आलो ना, moment म्हणजे काय, perpendicular distance. So I am multiplying by Y again. अरे समजताय ना तुम्हाला? dm is the moment of resistance which is equal to E by R into Y into dA again multiplied by Y. Okay, E by R into Y dA into Y. So from this मला हा फोर्स होता, फोर्सला मी वाय डिस्टन्सनं मल्टिप्लाय केलं तर मला काय मिळते. नाऊ आय विल गेट ई बाय आर इंटू वाय स्क्वेअर डी ए. ई बाय आर वाय स्क्वेअर डी ए. नाऊ वी विल सी हाऊ the moment of resistance offered by the beam section is, I have taken a very small element. That's why m is equal to, I have to take integration of that term E by R y square with respect to dA. Okay, so let us see. E by R is a constant, so y square dA. So y square dA is the second moment of the area. सेकंड मोमेंट ऑफ द एरिया म्हणजे काय झालं, डीए हा फक्त एक एरिया होता. दोन वेळा मोमेंट घेतलं ना मी त्याचं, मल्टिप्लाइड बाय वाय केलं, एक मोमेंट झालं, आणि अजून एक वेळा वाय मल्टिप्लाय केलं. सो आय विल गेट सेकंड मोमेंट ऑफ द एरिया. अँड व्हॉट इज सेकंड मोमेंट ऑफ द एरिया? इट इज नथिंग बट मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया अबाउट द न्यूट्रल ऍक्सिस. Moment of inertia is nothing but second moment of the area is called moment of inertia about the neutral axis. So I can replace this term with I because we have calculated I axis. So I am replacing it I about neutral axis. So I will get now moment is equal to E by R into I about neutral axis. So I will get the term E by R is equal to m. ये जो m है इधर का, ये m इधर लेके आया मैं, एंड n है, इस पर से सिंप्लीफाई किया तो m डिवाइडेड बाय i कर दिया खाली, इधर का E by R into m by I. So from this I can conclude, from equilibrium the moment of resistance equal to bending moment at the section. Neutral axis coincide with the horizontal centroid axis of the cross section. From equation 1 and 2, m by I is equal to E by R is equal to sigma by Y. So this is called bending formula. So how to remember this formula? M by I is equal to sigma by Y is equal to E by R. So for remembering this formula, you can remember in this manner: may I see you, Elizabeth Rani. M by I is equal to sigma by Y is equal to E by R. Again I will repeat. May I see you, sigma means see you, Elizabeth Rani. So this is the bending equation. So this derivation, it is supposed to be asked into examination, likely to be asked. So this is called Bernoulli-Euler bending equation. So this theory is developed in the 16th century, 1664, that they are developed in the, Bernoulli has developed this and Euler has given the modification to the this theory. That's why this is the combination of Bernoulli-Euler bending equation. It is also called, where E is the Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity, R is the radius of curvature, and M is the bending moment at the section. Further to that, Timoshenko has developed in 17th century that this assumption is wrong, but Timoshenko, SP Timoshenko has got the thing that he has made the Euler-Bernoulli equations failure, that plane sections never remain plane before and after bending. But Timoshenko has forget one thing, that shear stresses must be maximum at the neutral layer or wherever bending stresses are zero. So Timoshenko has got failed in that theory also. Then Krishnamurti comes in the picture in 1984. Till that time, people using Euler-Bernari theory, and till 1984, yes, Krishnamurti has developed higher order shear deformation theory, and they got the shear stresses are maximum at the neutral layer and bending stresses are zero. When time comes with us, then we will see that theory also, but that is not there in your syllabus. This is the historical part, that is not in any book. That's why I have given this additional part. Now, you are knowing now I is the moment of inertia about Na, that is neutral axis, sigma b bending stress, y distance of fiber from the neutral axis. Then what is section modulus? This is the another term that you have to study. Section modulus. So m by I is equal to sigma by y. So m is equal to, for simplification, sigma b into I by y. सी ये रीअरेंज किया है खाली. m is equal to sigma b into I by y. Then m is equal to sigma b into max into I na. मैंने क्या किया अभी, मेरे को मैक्सिमम बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस. प्लीज डू नॉट स्पीक. हॅलो, लिहून द्या तुम्हाला काय पाहिजे. डिस्टर्ब होते. आपको क्या चाहिए वो लिख के दे दो. प्रशांत, प्लीज क्लोज दैट डोर. So if I require maximum bending moment, then I neutral axis, and if I am taking y max means farther distance. If this is the beam, consider this mobile as a beam. So this is the farthest layer at the top and at the bottom compression. These are, and this is the neutral axis at the center, or approximately at the center. Then as it is rectangular section, it must be exactly at the center. So you will get maximum stresses at the top and at the bottom. So this term I by y is called section modulus, and that is called Z. I by y is always denoted by Z, and if it is Ixx, then it is called Zxx. So this all terminology you required in the design of steel structure as well as design of RCC structure. That is section modulus, then core upper section, etc., that you have to study. So where Z is I by y, and that is called section modulus. It is also a property of the section of the beam. And unit, now moment of inertia having unit is mm to the power 4, and y is nothing but in mm. Therefore, we are the unit of section modulus will be mm to the power 4 divided by mm. You will get mm to the power 3. So this term I have already explained. Now consider rectangular section where d by 2 will be the CG, d by 2 at the bottom. So neutral layer will be Na where the bending stresses are 0. So Z is equal to I by Y. So now we are going to find out Zxx of the rectangular section. So I is BD cube by 12 and Y max is D by 2. So if you are going to solve this, you will get BD square by 6, like this. So this is called Zxx of the rectangular section. Similarly, you can find out for circle, for triangle, for irregular shape also. So hollow rectangular section we will see. This is B, capital B, capital D is the outer dimension of a hollow rectangular section. Inner side dimension is small b, small d, and if you see maximum fiber distance will be d by 2 and small will be d by 2, d by 2. So here I by y. Now capital BD cube by 12 minus inner side BD cube by 12 divided by D by 2. So if you are going to solve this, this is called BD cube by 12 minus BD cube by 12, and at the bottom 6 times D. So if you are going to solve this, you will get Z for hollow rectangular section, BD cube by 12 minus BD cube by 6 by D. When you are going to go for any competitive examinations, you do not have that much of time. You have to remember, and when you can remember this thing whenever you are having the you are remembering the derivation and basic concept, fundamental things, then and only then at the time of your this thing competitive examination you can recall in a better manner. BD cube by 12 minus BD cube by 12 divided by 6D, because you do not have that much of time to calculate physically. So circular section we will see. This is solid circular section d by 2, again extreme fiber distance. If you are going to take any tangent to the circle, then this is the diameter and Na. So I by y, pi d to the power 4 divided by 64. Yesterday I have given pi r square by divided by 4, and 2 to the power 4, that will be 16. 16 into 4, 64, and divided by again d by 2. So simply you will get pi d cube divided by 32. Triangular section similarly, here is the CG is 1/3 h and 2 h by 3, and Z is I by y. Bh cube by 36 is the Ixx, already we have seen in yesterday's class, and y max is 2h by 3, so we will get Bh square by 24. Now this is the problem to find the distance x of the flange of cast iron beam having the section shown in figure such that maximum compressive stress is 3 times the maximum tensile stress, the member being pure bending subjected to sagging bending moment. So we have to find out. ये देखो ऐसा एग्जाम में आता है, कौन से एग्जाम पे? नॉट इन ऑटोनॉमी एग्जाम, नॉट इन यूनिवर्सिटी एग्जाम. दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम इज लाइकली टू बी आस्क्ड इन कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम. कैसा दिया है देखो उन्होंने, मैं कितना दिमाग लगाना है. द बीम having the section shown in figure such that the maximum compressive stress is 3 times the maximum tensile stress. So sigma T, sigma B, you have to develop the relation and you have to find out the CG of this inverted T section. So I am now requesting you to find out the CG of this diagram. First find out CG and then find out Ixx. This is the task that you have to do, and we will check the formulation. बिकॉज yesterday वी हैव सीन आई सेक्शन, ये आई सेक्शन का ऊपर का रिमूव कर दिया, तो मेरे को अभी इसका न्यूट्रल एक्सिस का, पहले न्यूट्रल एक्सिस मिलेगा कि आपको नहीं मिलेगा, बिकॉज इट इज यक्स. सो व्हाट वी विल सॉल्व without knowing this x dimension, or let us say forget about this, take x is equal to 2 to 5 and try to solve this problem to find out neutral axis position. करा सर्वजण ट्राय करा. Take x is equal to 2 to 5 and give me the value of I and CG. हा न्यूट्रल लेअर बॉटम पासून किती आहे, y बॉटम आणि y टॉप काढून द्या पहिले, नंतर आपण I एक्सेस काढू. ओके, so I am muting myself because we have 20 minutes to complete this problem. So try to find out I y bar and Ixx by taking x is equal to 2 to 5 within 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, everybody has to try, otherwise those who are not trying, they will be facing problem at the time of examination, because it is not so easy. लगता है easy लेकिन बहुत करे यहाँ पे mistakes होते हैं. So find out this y bottom and y top first, or simply give me y bar. करिए. Today also there are only 29 29 students present. Be serious. Total strength is 51. Otherwise they are going to face the problem, because strength of material first time taken by Vinesh Thorat, second time I am taking, so there will be lot of chances to get detained in strength of material. पहले बहुत कम लेक्चर होते हैं, उसमें भी आप बहुत कम अटेंड करते हो. सो दिस इज द वार्निंग फॉर ऑल absent student. I am recording the lecture, don't tell me that you are not given the warning. I have recording, I am recording all the lectures. Is any answer for y bar? Anybody?
21.875.
किती आला बेटा?
21.875 mm.
21 एवढा कमी? खालून काढला ना बॉटम पासून?
हो सर.
जरा कठीण वाटून झालं मला. बिकॉज 225, 25 हा येऊ पण शकते बिकॉज दिस डायमेन्शन इज मच मोर ग्रेटर दॅन दिस 25 and 100. Again we will check. Anybody having different answer?
सर 25 y बार.
25.
हा.
अरे यार सगळेचे कॅल्क्युलेटर कोणते आहे रे बा? कॅसिओचेच आहे ना सगळेचे? आणि
सर
हा.
25 ला वायबर 25.
25 वाला?
हा, हा, हा.
इथं काढू का? इन्सर्ट टेक्स्ट बॉक्स. काय माझा कशाला पाहिजे? काय लावतो ना? काय लावतो ना? थांबा माझं लेक्चर उद्या दुसरे काढून द्या. ओके, a1 y1 plus a2 y2. So a1 y1 plus a1 y1 plus a2 y2 a2 y2 याने काढलेलं असेल ते खाली नाही काढलेलं आहे वाटतं, नाही काढलेलं. a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. Now a1 directly I will calculate without wasting much more time. 25 पहिले वर्टिकल डायग्राम घेतो मी. Answer is 25. Here you have committed the mistake. I tell you here. ये जो 75 ने लिया आपने, now find out Ixx about the neutral axis. $25 is the correct answer. Now find out our Ixx about the neutral axis. आला का कोणाचा IXX?
3.22 into 10 to the power 6.
3.22 into 10 raised to power 6. We will check any other answer. मेरे स्टूडेंट का नहीं मैंने please find out IXX immediately because we do not have that much of time. Yesterday I have explained for I section. Same steps you have to follow. If you want for hint, then I can share that also. ये डायग्राम अभी प्रिंट स्क्रीन करता हूँ मैं. जस्ट मोमेंट. प्रिंट स्क्रीन. अरे तिकडे जाऊन बोला रा. So this problem is there and yesterday we have solved in this manner. The same steps you have to follow. Follow like this. ये निकालो A1 ये तो निकाल लिया अपन ने. अभी यहाँ पे देखो क्या क्या किया है. So you have to do lot of practice for calculating moment of inertia. If CG is wrong, moment of inertia definitely will be wrong. And then M by I is equal to sigma by Y. After putting in this expression, bending moment I, F and Y. Those who have solved the problem, please put the answer on the group after finding out IXS. Okay. So now, so I am ending the meeting. Try to solve the problem and give me at the this thing on our group. Give me the correct answer, or somebody can give the solution also. Okay, so that others will be benefited. So thank you very much for your patience. I am ending the meeting now. If you have any difficulty, you can unmute yourself or ask me, or you can ask on my personal this thing also, personal WhatsApp. Okay, so thank you very much.